You stare at your lab report again, hoping today would be different, but your creatinine is still high and your GFR keeps falling. Every bite you eat now feels like it could bring you closer to dialysis. You feel tired, lost, and afraid of making one more wrong food choice. Rice used to feel safe, comforting, familiar, but now it feels like a trap. Some types make things worse. Some could actually help your kidneys, but no one explains it clearly. In this video, I'll show you 3 rice types that truly support kidney health and lower creatinine so you can eat without fear. We are building a community to protect your kidneys, so please share and subscribe to help spread our cause. Let's begin with number 1, white basmati rice. White basmati rice is one of the few foods that offers both emotional comfort and clinical safety when you're living with chronic kidney disease. If you've been scared of your rising creatinine or overwhelmed by lab reports showing higher phosphorus or potassium, this is one food you can still rely on. In the U.S., where many packaged foods hide phosphorus additives or potassium preservatives, finding something simple and clean becomes increasingly rare. White basmati rice stands out because it's remarkably gentle on damaged kidneys, light on digestion, and neutral on blood pressure. Unlike brown rice or sticky short-grain varieties that can burden your system, basmati rice is naturally lower in phosphorus and potassium. A half cup of cooked white basmati contains around 35 milligrams of phosphorus and 55 milligrams of potassium, which makes it significantly safer for someone trying to control CKD progression. After treating kidney patients for over 15 years, I've seen how the wrong carbohydrate choices can accelerate kidney decline, while the right ones can provide stability and comfort during incredibly challenging times. The mineral profile of basmati rice creates a foundation that won't sabotage your laboratory values or push you closer to dialysis. Its long grain structure also means it has a lower glycemic index than regular white rice, so it won't spike your blood sugar as dramatically. That's absolutely critical for anyone managing both diabetes and kidney disease, since every blood sugar spike increases inflammation and oxidative stress, both of which damage nephrons and worsen creatinine levels over time. Research from the American Diabetes Association shows that people with diabetes and kidney disease who experience frequent glucose spikes have kidney function decline rates up to 40% faster than those with stable blood sugar control. Basmati rice helps prevent these dangerous fluctuations. When it comes to digestion, white basmati rice breaks down cleanly and isn't sticky like sushi rice or parboiled types. This helps tremendously with the slower gut transit times that are common in CKD. A smooth, clean digestive experience reduces problematic symptoms like bloating, gas, and constipation, all of which influence your gut microbiome. And that microbiome matters more than most people realize when it comes to kidney health. It directly affects how much urea builds up in your system, how inflamed your body becomes, and how efficiently your colon clears toxins, which all impact your creatinine and overall kidney function. I remember treating Margaret, a 61-year-old teacher with stage 3 chronic kidney disease, who came to me frustrated because her creatinine had jumped from 1.6 to 2.1 milligrams per deciliter over 4 months. She was eating brown rice daily, thinking it was the healthier choice, but the higher phosphorus and potassium content was overwhelming her compromised kidneys. After we switched her to white basmati rice, properly prepared and portioned, her creatinine stabilized at 1.8 milligrams per deciliter over the next 6 months, and her digestive symptoms improved dramatically. She could finally enjoy meals again without the fear and bloating that had been making her life miserable. But safety with this rice starts before you even cook it. Always rinse your basmati thoroughly in cold water until the water runs completely clear. This washes away surface starch and any environmental contaminants that could add unnecessary burden to your kidneys. If you want to take safety even further, soak the rice in filtered or bottled water for at least 30 minutes before cooking. Then cook using the boil and drain method, treating it like pasta. Use lots of water and drain thoroughly after cooking. This technique cuts down arsenic levels and reduces mineral buildup, especially important when your kidneys can't filter efficiently and heavy metals can accumulate in your system. How often you can safely eat this rice depends entirely on your CKD stage and current laboratory values. In stages 1 to 3, when potassium and phosphorus levels are still in safe zones and your eGFR is above 30, you can eat white basmati up to 4 times per week. But even then, check your labs every 3 to 4 weeks if you're eating it regularly to ensure your levels remain stable. In stage 4, where filtration slows significantly and phosphorus starts rising or blood pressure becomes harder to manage, limit consumption to 2 or 3 servings per week maximum. Always eat it as part of a balanced kidney-safe meal, never on its own where it might cause blood sugar spikes. In stage 5 or dialysis, white basmati rice can still be included, but portion control becomes absolutely critical. Stick to half a cup cooked at most, and only if your labs are being monitored closely. Combine it with low-potassium vegetables like peeled zucchini, cabbage, or carrots. For protein, soft-boiled egg whites are ideal, being low in phosphorus with no potassium load, supporting protein needs without overtaxing your kidneys. Here's a request from me. Please type 1 in the comment section if this video is proving helpful to you. Comment 0 if you think the information is somehow less helpful. Never pair white basmati rice with tomato sauces, soy sauces, lentil stews, or canned foods unless you're absolutely sure the potassium content is controlled. These combinations can push your potassium dangerously high, which can trigger heart rhythm changes and muscle fatigue that can be life-threatening. If your blood pressure or blood sugar has been unstable, monitor carefully how your body reacts 48 to 72 hours after eating new food pairings. A small spike in creatinine doesn't always mean permanent damage, but repeated spikes are risky and may signal ongoing inflammation that's accelerating kidney decline. If you've been struggling with protein in your urine, a pinch of turmeric or fresh parsley with your rice can help reduce inflammation and swelling without adding metabolic stress. But if your eGFR is under 30, limit white basmati to twice a week maximum, and only after reviewing your latest labs or getting guidance from your renal dietitian. When your urea levels are running high, watch your portion sizes even more carefully. Eating more than 1/3 cup cooked during periods of high urea can make you feel dizzy, foggy, or fatigued. That's because excessive carbohydrates can increase nitrogen buildup, worsen brain fog, and raise ammonia levels in the bloodstream. Eat rice slowly, chew thoroughly, and always pair with fresh, non-salty sides to reduce the overall digestive load on your system. And please never eat white basmati rice alongside processed meats, canned soups, or spice blends with phosphate or potassium-based preservatives. These combinations might taste appealing, but they're genuinely dangerous when your kidneys are weakened. Always read labels carefully and choose ingredients with no additives or artificial seasonings. If your diabetes isn't fully controlled, use a glucose meter when reintroducing basmati rice. Even though this rice has a lower glycemic index, CKD can slow insulin response, and your glucose may still spike if you eat it alone. That's why it's safer to eat white basmati rice with a teaspoon of olive oil or a drizzle of avocado oil. This slows sugar absorption and helps protect your remaining filtration rate from glucose-related damage. For many patients, this becomes the first meal in weeks that actually feels safe, warm, familiar, and not dangerous. That emotional component matters tremendously because kidney disease takes away so much joy from food. It's emotionally exhausting to worry about every single bite you take. White basmati rice can provide a little relief, a meal that won't harm you, won't raise your creatinine, spike your phosphorus, or worsen your digestive symptoms. If your potassium is running low or you've lost weight from reduced appetite, this rice can gently support your energy levels without stressing your kidneys. But if your potassium hits 5.5 milliequivalents per liter or your phosphorus approaches 5.0 milligrams per deciliter, stop immediately and reassess your entire dietary approach. One poorly chosen meal can tip your delicate mineral balance too far and trigger dangerous complications. Also, never eat rice that's been sitting in the refrigerator longer than 24 hours. CKD significantly weakens your immune system, and rice can harbor bacteria called Bacillus cereus that survives refrigeration. Reheating doesn't always kill it completely, and the risk of serious stomach illness is much higher when your immune defenses are already compromised. Always cook rice fresh, eat it while warm, and store it quickly if needed. Label storage dates clearly and discard leftovers after 1 day maximum. You're already navigating an incredibly difficult path where every food choice becomes stressful and every symptom makes you question your progress. But you deserve meals that nourish and comfort you without creating fear. White basmati rice can be that food when chosen wisely, prepared with care, and eaten mindfully. It can protect your kidney health, lower inflammation, improve digestion, and let you enjoy your plate again without guilt or anxiety. 2. Japonica white rice. Japonica white rice is one of the softest and most soothing rice varieties that people protecting their kidneys can rely on for nourishment, comfort, and safety. This rice variety is short grain and slightly sticky after cooking, which makes it significantly easier to chew and digest, especially when digestion slows down during kidney stress or high urea buildup. In terms of kidney health markers, Japonica white rice contains about 38 milligrams of phosphorus and around 50 milligrams of potassium per half-cup cooked portion, making it a fairly low phosphorus and low potassium food suitable for most people trying to support kidney function and maintain stable creatinine levels. For people living in the United States with early-stage kidney damage or reduced eGFR, Japonica white rice can be eaten safely up to 4 times per week if phosphorus, potassium, and urea levels remain stable. If your eGFR is between 45 and 60 and your creatinine is just slightly above the normal range, this rice can be a daily part of lunch or dinner in half-cup portions without negatively impacting your numbers. However, if your GFR drops below 30, or if potassium begins rising above 5.5 milliequivalents per liter, or phosphorus rises above 4.5 milligrams per deciliter, then this rice should be limited to twice a week or less, and only in smaller quarter-cup servings to prevent mineral overload. The texture of Japonica white rice is naturally soft and mildly sticky, which helps people with appetite loss, fatigue, or dry mouth chew and swallow with greater ease. This can be incredibly comforting when protein intake is necessarily reduced and meals feel emotionally draining or physically challenging. I treated Robert, a 58-year-old carpenter with stage 4 chronic kidney disease who was struggling with severe appetite loss and had lost 15 pounds over 3 months. His albumin levels were dropping dangerously low, but he found it difficult to eat because everything felt too heavy or made him nauseous. After we introduced properly prepared Japonica rice as a base for his meals, he was able to increase his caloric intake without stressing his kidneys. The soft texture made eating less of a struggle, and over 4 months he regained 8 pounds and his albumin levels stabilized. The lightness of this rice helps significantly with bloating, constipation, and digestive stress, which are incredibly common when urea is elevated or when inflammation affects the gut lining during CKD progression. The glycemic index of Japonica white rice is slightly higher than long-grain basmati, but still lower than jasmine or glutinous rice varieties. For those managing diabetes alongside CKD, this distinction matters because blood sugar spikes harm the delicate blood vessels that support kidney filtration and oxygen delivery. Maintaining stable glucose levels is crucial for preventing additional kidney damage. Japonica rice should always be rinsed thoroughly under clean water until the water runs completely clear to remove surface starch and potential contaminants. It's best to soak the rice for at least 30 minutes before cooking to help reduce any arsenic residues and lower the cooking time, which helps keep the rice softer and more digestible. The safest cooking method for kidney health is the boil and drain approach, where excess water is used during cooking and drained off before serving. This removes extra potassium, phosphorus, and possible heavy metals, which can accumulate more readily in people with impaired kidney function. Japonica white rice pairs beautifully with low potassium, low phosphorus vegetables like green cabbage, steamed carrots, peeled zucchini, and cucumber. You can also safely combine it with low-sodium cooked egg whites or a small piece of grilled white fish like tilapia or cod, depending on your phosphorus and urea levels. Avoid pairing this rice with soy sauces, creamy lentils, salted broths, or tomato-based curries unless your potassium and sodium are tightly controlled, under 5.0 milliequivalents per liter for potassium and under 2,300 milligrams daily for sodium. If your creatinine rises above 2.0 milligrams per deciliter after including this rice in your diet, then portion size and pairing foods should be reassessed immediately by reviewing labs within 72 hours and consulting with your healthcare team. This rice can also support people with uncontrolled blood pressure because it's naturally sodium-free and contains no additives or preservatives when bought plain and unseasoned. High blood pressure damages the kidney filters slowly but steadily over time, so eating foods that don't contribute to fluid retention or vascular stress helps reduce filtration pressure. When paired with high-fiber, low-sodium sides, this rice helps regulate digestion, smooth out blood sugar levels, and supports proper hydration, all of which are needed to lower creatinine and protect remaining nephrons from further damage. For those with low albumin levels, remember that this rice is not a protein source, so it shouldn't replace protein-rich foods. However, it helps provide essential calories to prevent muscle wasting and fatigue, which also worsen when appetite drops significantly. For people losing weight during CKD, or those with low serum albumin under 3.5 grams per deciliter, this rice can be a safe energy source when eaten with a renal-approved protein source and a small amount of healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado oil, to support nutrient absorption and balance blood sugar response. In dialysis, patients where potassium and phosphorus levels are often unstable and closely monitored, Japonica rice can still be included, but should be portioned very carefully. A quarter cup cooked per meal is a safe starting point, and this can be adjusted based on labs showing potassium below 5.5 milliequivalents per liter, phosphorus under 5.0 milligrams per deciliter, and urea not rising above 80 milligrams per deciliter. If any of these values begin to increase, then reduce the rice frequency to once weekly and carefully review all dietary pairings to ensure nothing hidden is contributing to rising mineral loads. Always cook fresh and avoid storing cooked rice for more than 24 hours because the risk of bacterial spores increases significantly, especially when immunity is compromised during kidney failure. This isn't just a precaution, it's essential for preventing serious foodborne illness. In advanced CKD, when people suffer from insomnia, poor sleep, or muscle loss, the soft texture and slow-digesting carbohydrates of Japonica rice can help provide gentle nighttime nourishment without burdening the kidneys with excess protein, phosphorus, or potassium. A warm bowl of this rice in the evening with boiled zucchini or a light miso broth made from low-sodium powder can help reduce cortisol levels, improve sleep quality, and support blood pressure stability overnight, which is vital to reduce strain on the heart and blood vessels. People with GFR below 20 and creatinine above 3.0 milligrams per deciliter should be extremely careful with portion size and timing of this rice and should never eat it with high-fat or high-phosphorus foods like cheese, cream sauces, nut butters, or processed meats because these increase inflammation and mineral imbalance. For patients experiencing anxiety around eating or significant loss of appetite, this rice offers emotional comfort combined with physical safety, which is remarkably rare during kidney disease progression. It's a food that feels familiar and easy, yet still aligns with the complex needs of protecting kidney health, managing blood pressure, reducing inflammation, and lowering creatinine when prepared properly and eaten mindfully in correct amounts. 3. Shirataki rice. Shirataki rice made from konjac root represents one of the most kidney-friendly rice substitutes available today for people trying to manage their kidney health and lower creatinine levels. This rice is extremely low in calories with less than 10 calories per serving and contains virtually no carbohydrates, making it an excellent choice for those dealing with high blood sugar or insulin resistance alongside kidney issues. For patients with high creatinine levels and declining kidney function, every bite genuinely matters. Shirataki rice offers a way to dramatically reduce digestive burden while supporting better laboratory results without sacrificing the satisfaction of eating rice. This rice contains virtually zero phosphorus and potassium, with most reputable brands showing under 5 milligrams per half cup, which is significantly lower than any traditional rice variety. This makes it ideal for people in advanced CKD stages where even minor increases in potassium or phosphorus can worsen symptoms or trigger dangerous complications like hyperkalemia or bone disease. Because shirataki rice is made from the soluble fiber glucomannan, it actually slows digestion and promotes healthy bowel movements, which can ease the overall metabolic load on your kidneys. The slow digestion process also helps stabilize blood sugar and reduce post-meal insulin spikes, which is crucial because insulin resistance worsens inflammation and kidney stress over time. Research from Johns Hopkins shows that people with diabetes and kidney disease who maintain stable post-meal glucose levels have significantly slower rates of kidney function decline compared to those with frequent spikes. The unique texture of shirataki rice may feel unusual at first, but it's far easier for sensitive digestive systems to handle compared to heavier starches or grains that may ferment in the gut and increase uremic toxins. This rice doesn't raise urea levels and is considered essentially non-absorbable, meaning it passes through the body with minimal metabolic impact. That makes it an outstanding option for anyone trying to lower creatinine through kidney-friendly meal planning, while still enjoying the comfort and satisfaction of eating rice with their meals. I remember treating Patricia, a 52-year-old nurse with stage 5 chronic kidney disease who was preparing for dialysis. Her phosphorus levels were consistently above 6.0 milligrams per deciliter despite phosphate binders, and she was heartbroken about giving up rice, which had been a staple comfort food throughout her life. After we introduced shirataki rice prepared properly with kidney-safe seasonings, she could enjoy rice-based meals again without any impact on her phosphorus levels. Her quality of life improved dramatically, and she felt like she had regained some control over her diet during an incredibly difficult time. To prepare shirataki rice safely, rinse it thoroughly under warm water to remove the natural konjac aroma, which some people find unpleasant initially. Then boil it for 2 to 3 minutes to soften the texture and improve palatability. For those with weakened immune systems, this extra cooking step reduces the risk of any bacterial exposure and helps improve overall food safety. Shirataki rice should be eaten fresh and not stored for more than 24 hours in the refrigerator to avoid contamination or potential gut discomfort. It can be safely eaten 3 to 4 times per week across all stages of CKD, as long as it's paired with appropriate foods that provide necessary nutrition. Excellent pairings include steamed cabbage, boiled zucchini, roasted eggplant, sautéed bell peppers, or fresh parsley. These foods add fiber and nutrients without overwhelming the kidneys, and they support hydration and inflammation control. Shirataki rice also pairs well with low-sodium miso broth, fresh ginger, or turmeric, which help calm the digestive tract and support liver and kidney detoxification processes. For protein sources, soft tofu, poached egg whites, or a small serving of grilled whitefish are appropriate choices, especially if phosphorus and potassium levels are stable. Because shirataki rice contains almost no nutrients on its own, it must be paired with foods that fill in those nutritional gaps without spiking harmful laboratory values. This rice is particularly valuable for dialysis patients who struggle with phosphorus overload, since it contributes nothing to phosphorus buildup. It also works exceptionally well for people dealing with high urea, since it contains no protein that requires breakdown and elimination, It doesn't interfere with blood pressure regulation or fluid balance and doesn't contribute to metabolic acidosis, which can be a serious concern in advanced kidney disease. People with heart complications or bone disease from CKD can benefit significantly from Shirataki rice because it helps them avoid dietary triggers that worsen vascular calcification or dangerous mineral imbalances. Those struggling with sleep problems or chronic fatigue may notice a lighter feeling after meals and better nighttime rest because this rice avoids the heavy digestion that strains the body before sleep. The nutrient bioavailability of Shirataki rice is essentially zero, but that's actually part of why it's so safe for kidney patients. It provides bulk and satisfaction without contributing energy or minerals that could worsen phosphorus or potassium retention. For those trying to maintain muscle mass while avoiding weight gain from fluid retention, this rice helps by offering satiety without calories or harmful metabolic byproducts. It doesn't promote inflammation and may indirectly help lower C-reactive protein levels when used regularly in place of high-carb or processed options. It also helps manage gut bacteria by acting as a prebiotic, which supports immune health and reduces intestinal burden on kidney filtration. There are no known drug interactions with Shirataki rice and no reports of worsening laboratory markers when used within a balanced meal plan. However, it shouldn't be the only source of fiber or carbohydrate since it lacks essential nutritional content. Some people may experience mild bloating initially due to increased fiber intake, so it's wise to start with smaller portions like a quarter cup and increase gradually as tolerance improves. Always monitor blood sugar and blood pressure when trying any new food, especially if your laboratory values have been unstable or your stage of CKD is advanced. For people with stage 3 or 4 CKD, Shirataki rice can be used as a replacement for 1 or 2 meals per week, where regular rice would cause a spike in potassium or phosphorus. For dialysis patients, it can be used more frequently because it dramatically reduces the total phosphorus burden while maintaining meal satisfaction. For people with early CKD or only mild creatinine elevation, Shirataki rice is a supportive way to control inflammation and digestive strain without giving up the psychological comfort of eating rice. Emotional comfort is a crucial part of healing, and having a safe, warm bowl of rice without the fear of worsening laboratory results can provide tremendous relief during an incredibly stressful time. This rice should not be paired with high oxalate vegetables like spinach or beets, since these increase the risk of kidney stone formation and place additional load on the filtration system. It should also be avoided with processed sauces or canned broths that contain phosphorus additives. Always check ingredient labels carefully and choose clean, organic varieties when possible. Some brands add calcium or preservatives, so look for options with minimal ingredients listed on the label. Pure konjac Shirataki rice is the safest version available. In summary, Shirataki rice represents one of the lowest risk choices for kidney patients across all stages of disease. It offers safety without sacrificing satisfaction, and it actively supports kidney health by avoiding everything that makes CKD worse. For anyone trying to protect their kidneys while living with exhaustion and food-related anxiety, this rice can offer genuine peace of mind, nourishment, and stability without pushing laboratory values in dangerous directions. Here are some crucial bonus tips to remember. Avoid brown rice, red rice, or wild rice unless your potassium and phosphorus are exceptionally well controlled, because these varieties are often too high in minerals and can put excessive pressure on your kidneys during chronic disease. Always rinse your rice under clean running water until the water runs completely clear. Then soak it before cooking and use extra water to boil and drain afterward. This process helps remove hidden arsenic, excess phosphorus and sodium that can silently worsen your kidney function over time. Keep your rice portions to half a cup cooked maximum, unless you're pairing it with low phosphorus and low potassium options like steamed cabbage, boiled carrots, or Shirataki rice, which helps balance the total mineral load on your plate. If you're trying to manage high creatinine, low GFR, or protein in the urine, These 3 rice varieties we've discussed aren't just allowed foods. They're powerful tools to help you feel satisfied, support stable blood pressure, and avoid dangerous laboratory swings without harming your kidneys further. The key is understanding that with kidney disease, food choices aren't just about nutrition, they're about survival and quality of life. These rice options give you back some control and comfort during a time when so much feels uncertain and frightening. When prepared correctly and eaten in appropriate portions, these rice varieties can be part of a kidney protective diet that helps stabilize your condition while allowing you to enjoy meals again without constant fear and anxiety. If you want specific guidance on which rice is safest for your current kidney laboratory values, consider sharing your latest GFR, creatinine, potassium, phosphorus, and urea levels, and work with a qualified renal dietitian to build a safe rice plan that fits your individual stage and needs. Remember, every person's kidney disease journey is different, and what works for one person may need adjustment for another. The goal is finding foods that support your health while bringing back some joy and comfort to your daily meals.